Have you ever felt like your life is standing still while the rest of the world moves forward? Alaric felt the same way. In a valley where the mountains kissed the clouds lived a grand oak tree named Alaric. He was the oldest living thing in the valley, with roots deep in the earth and branches stretching toward the golden sun. He was strong and wise, yet his heart was filled with a restless longing. Every year, Alaric watched the birds arrive and depart. He watched the deer leap across the meadows and the silver salmon dance in the rushing river. But most of all, he watched the travelers, humans walking on winding paths, carrying stories of distant cities and salty oceans. Alaric began to hate his roots. To him, they were not anchors, they were chains. He dreamed of lifting his heavy limbs to take a single step, imagining the feeling of sea spray on his leaves. He grew bitter, ignoring the squirrels in his hollows and the shade he provided to weary shepherds. One summer, a terrible drought struck. The river shrank, and the grass turned the color of old parchment. Alaric, feeling his leaves curl, cursed his stillness more than ever. He begged the wind to set him free so he could find a land where the rain never ended. The wind whispered back that freedom is not always found in movement, and the horizon is a ghost that can never be caught. But Alaric would not listen. As the sun beat down, Alaric noticed a small, fragile sapling growing just beneath his largest branch. It was struggling in the parched earth, and without Alaric's wide canopy, the tiny tree would have withered in an hour. Alaric looked at the sapling, then at the vast, empty horizon he so craved. In that moment, a realization washed over him. If he were walking across the desert, this little life would perish. If he were chasing the ocean, the birds would have no home and the shepherds no rest. His stillness was not a prison, it was a purpose. Alaric began to draw from the deep, hidden aquifers he had reached over centuries. He pushed his energy into his leaves, broadening them to shield the sapling from the midday glare. He stopped looking at the path and started looking at the life beneath him. He realized that the travelers he envied were often searching for exactly what he already had, a place to belong. Years passed, and the sapling grew into a sturdy tree beside its protector. Alaric was still there, his bark weathered, but his heart was finally quiet. He understood now that true contentment is not found by chasing the horizon, but by blooming where you are planted. The birds could fly, and the humans could walk, but only Alaric could stand still long enough to watch the world truly grow. And in that stillness, he found a journey deeper than any road could ever offer.